Thank you, Mr. President. And I thank Deputy Special Coordinator Alakbarov for his briefing. Slovenia welcomes the implementation of the first phase of the comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict. We appreciate the efforts of Egypt, Qatar, Turkey, and the United States. Slovenia champions a strong role of this Council in supporting the implementation process. We would also like to commend the pivotal role of the ICRC. We are deeply concerned over the attempts to violate the ceasefire in Gaza, including violence and extrajudicial executions by Hamas, arms smuggling, delays in the opening of crossings, and an escalation after attacks near Rafah. We call on the parties to fully respect the ceasefire. While the yellow line internally dividing Gaza should remain as short-lived as possible, arrangements for disarmament of Hamas and the setting up of international stabilization forces should proceed swiftly. Slovenia also remains profoundly concerned about the situation in the West Bank, including the discussions regarding annexation of the West Bank and the continuation of the Iron Wall operation. We call for de-escalation. We are appalled by the violence and the high number of killings, injuries, infrastructure damages, and displacement, as well as settler attacks in the context of the olive harvest season. Colleagues, the ultimate goal of our efforts in the Middle East must be the two-state solution. In that sense, we strongly believe that visions provided by the President Trump's plan, the New York Declaration, and the Arab Plan for Reconstruction of Gaza should be complementary. We must ensure efforts of the international community are equally complementary. It is therefore important to strengthen the Palestinian Authority with the view of reforming and ensuring their governance in Gaza, as well as the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. Each country sitting at this table today has its own set of experiences and knowledge. While Slovenia has been consistent in our support to Palestinian people, to Palestinian Authority, and to UNRWA, we are willing to step up also with lessons learned from recent history of our region. The United Nations has a vast experience of establishing international interim administration in territories recovering from conflict. Kosovo and Bosnia and Herzegovina can serve as an inspiration for plans how to put up a civilian administration in Gaza, even if not directly coordinated by the United Nations. Mr. President, we welcome the 60-day humanitarian plan presented by the UN. Humanitarian needs in Gaza continue being tremendously high, and we continue calling for sustained, unimpeded, and at-scale aid and fuel delivery across the Strip. Safe operating space for humanitarian actors, including international NGOs, must include protection of aid workers operating on the ground, as well as the registration process based on humanitarian principles. We further call for restoration of infrastructure and opening of crossings to eliminate the persistent threat of famine, and for medical evacuations and returns. Medical needs in Gaza are enormous. Doctors and medical workers should be allowed to work unimpeded and without fear. We appeal to Israel to release from arbitrary detention the remaining medical staff from Gaza, including Dr. Abu Safia of Kamal Adwan Hospital. Gaza must also be free and safe space for journalists to work in. Mr. President, the road to healing is long and will likely be paved with fragile peace. It is our collective responsibility to nurture this fragile peace in becoming a just and lasting one. It must be firmly anchored in international law, which includes ensuring accountability of all parties for their actions. In this regard, Slovenia welcomes the work of the International Court of Justice in issuing the latest advisory opinion just yesterday. We underline that the advisory opinion, as an authoritative judicial decision with great legal weight and moral authority, must be studied carefully in order to give full effect to the interpretation of international law as provided by the court. Thank you.
Я благодарю представителя Словении за его заявление и предоставляю слово представителю Китая.
谢谢主席。我感谢安拉克巴罗夫副特别协调员的通报。